Good morning. Welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Tuesday, May 11, 2010. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S., 4:30 p.m. in London, 12:30 in Bermuda. In Mexico City, it's 10:30 a.m. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. Before we get to the stories, a note, the Securities and Exchange Commission in the U.S., the SEC, yesterday warned the ratings agencies Moody's that it might sue the firm for making false and misleading statements as part of its application as a ratings organization. The SEC sent Moody's a Wells notice signaling that it's considering legal action against the firm. Moody's said that it had received the notice all the way back on March 18th and disclosed it in a quarterly filing on Friday. According to Moody's, the notice stemmed from actions by members of a European Rating Surveillance Committee who, quote, may have violated Moody's professional code of conduct. That's very interesting. There's been a whole host of questions about actions of ratings agencies and non-actions of rating agencies. We'll go to our main story. Main story today is a violent series of tornadoes that ripped through the southern plains states yesterday, killing 5 people, injuring dozens more, leaving behind multiple flattened homes, toppling power lines, etc. Tornadoes were reported in Oklahoma and Kansas yesterday. Storms moved through the area, dumping hail as big as baseballs, splintering mobile homes and leaving thousands of people without power. According to the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management, 2 people were killed in Oklahoma City, 3 were killed in Cleveland County. A recreational vehicle killed a man when it flipped over and landed on top of him. The tornado outbreak had been forecast by weather forecasters for the past week. A little update on British Petroleum. Today they're working on something called Top Hat. Top Hat is a smaller dome pictured here. They're going to lower it down and they're going to try to use that where the bigger dome failed. Apparently what the problem is now is that they're dealing with more natural gas than they expected. That's leading to increased prospects of freezing. So what Top Hat will do, it'll have some methane gas being pumped in, which apparently will retard the freezing, methanol pumped in, which apparently will keep ice from forming there. Also, the smaller size of the structure will keep out most of the water. According to BP, they say that the dome will be directly connected to a drill ship that will store the oil on the surface. They think it'll be operational by the end of this week. Of course, several attempts have shut off to shut off the 5,000 barrel a day spill have failed already. One guaranteed attempt that they're working on is the backup well that they've been working on now. It's 9,000 feet deep. It's going to take about another 6 or 8 weeks to finish. As Andrew Hayward said, the BP CEO, the relief wells will ultimately be successful and the company will ultimately solve the problem. It's simply a question of how long it's going to take. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C. today, Mr. Hayward and others are being lined up in front of a congressional committee. It's making for very good television. If you're near a TV, I suggest you go to it and watch it. The ash update. The volcanic ash now is down in the area of northern Africa and all the way over into the eastern Mediterranean. Here's a picture of the, I believe this is the Rabat airport in Morocco, showing people bound for Finland. Volcanic ash now has shut down Casablanca Airport, Rabat Airport, as well as airports in Spain and airspace over Turkey. Here's today's map. Let's see if we can decipher this for you. In the center there, that red squiggly oblong circle, that is the main cloud of ash right now. Transatlantic flights, in fact, are, if you're leaving from New York, for example, you're heading up essentially over Labrador, you're going up over Greenland to skirt the northern tip of that thing, and then you're making an eastward turn to come over to the right, and you're passing over the north of the north of Iceland, and then coming back down a little bit, bisecting Scotland to come into London. The wording on that red squiggly ash cloud in the middle there says that you can fly above 35,000 feet. So that's the big holdup right now. And if you look a little bit over to the right, you can see Spain and the Iberian Peninsula and Portugal. You'll notice that the cloud extends over that way to the east, and that's the cloud part that's drifting over northern Africa and into the Mediterranean. So this is beginning to become a problem for areas that had not previously been affected last month in the shutdown of most of the European and North Atlantic flights. Well, this really is not a surprise, unfortunately. Gordon Brown came out of 10 Downing Street yesterday at about 6 p.m. London time and announced that he's going to step down in the fall. This will give the Labour Party a chance to form a government with the smaller Liberal Democrats following the election last week. The Conservative Party has been talking to the Liberal Dems in order to try to form a government, but as of just before we went on, the Liberal Dems are now still talking to Labour. So no one quite knows how it's going to end up, but at least Mr. Brown has removed himself from the picture, a very selfless thing to do. In South Africa, the labor strike has intensified. The movement of commodities and fuel into South Africa and out of South Africa and in South Africa may be halted later today after a second labor union said it would join a strike by thousands of workers at the country's rail, ports, and pipelines areas. The escalation of the pay dispute at state-owned Transnet Limited risks slowing down the already slow recovery in Africa's biggest economy. It also marks a problem as 1 month from today, the World Cup is expected to attract some 300,000 visitors. The workers are demanding a 15% pay increase and permanent employment for 5,000 contract workers. The American stock market, after yesterday's banner day, when it went up about 410 points, is now up just about 1 point. This is after having been down this morning. We'll go to a word from our sponsors and come back with the rest of the news.
Every day, the world wakes up and goes to work, pursuing the unique opportunities that lead the global economy forward. The complexity and close connectivity of today's global marketplace is a true modern miracle that can create unparalleled success. But it takes confidence, passion, innovation, and understanding.
Enabling opportunity. Protecting capital.
Engineering innovation.
Investing in your future.
Ensuring continuity.
Finding the right balance.
It takes Aon.
Insurance Day is reporting that the global insurance market will have a combined exposure of about $5 billion US related to the 2010 World Cup when it kicks off in South Africa in a month from now. The cover has been bought by a whole range of interested parties, including FIFA. As you'd also expect, broadcasting companies and travel companies and sponsors have also purchased it. A large portion of that $5 billion has apparently been passed on